Getting us all those details. In other news, from Mecca to the United States to Mexico, temperatures are off the charts. According to a new study, extreme heat across parts of Central America and the southern United States in May and early June has 35 times more likely a chance because it was a human-caused global warming. The unusually early heat wave in the United States has shattered temperatures as far as records are concerned across the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic states and the Midwest as well. My colleague Vishal has the details.
From India and Pakistan to the US and Mexico, the heat wave is not sparing anyone. May was the Earth's 12th consecutive month of record-breaking temperatures. The global average temperature for May 2024 is 1.52 degrees Celsius above the estimated average for May during the pre-industrial period of 1850 to 1900, highlighting the long-term impact of global warming. According to reports, India's severe heat wave this summer is suspected to have killed at least 100 people and made tens of thousands ill. The chokehold of heat wave is slowly tightening in the US as it covers the Midwest and northeastern part of the country. Officials in the US warn that the high temperatures could prove deadly. About 80 million people in the US are facing an excessive heat warning at the moment.
So when you do get a heat wave, what it does to the atmosphere is it makes the air expand. So when the air expands, it creates a dome, which is why you call it a heat dome when you happen to have a heat wave. So there's a big area of high pressure that's bulged outwards, forming a dome. That's all that means when you're calling it a heat dome. It's a heat wave by, any definition you want to give.
Exposure to high temperatures can cause dehydration, heat stroke, and heat exhaustion. It can also worsen heart issues and other pre-existing conditions. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, heat contributed to the deaths of more than 2,300 Americans in 2023. The number of these deaths has more than doubled in just the past 5 years. Though heat wave doesn't appear to have the dramatic backdrop of natural disasters such as earthquake and floods, the effects do tend to be widespread. With Vishal Vivek, Kartikeya Bhattacharya for NDTV.
And to get more on this, we have climate expert Jose Alvaro Silva of the WMO joining us from Lisbon. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on NDTV. What's driving these extreme temperatures in the United States, and also we're talking about Mecca to even Mexico?
So this excessive high temperatures in many regions of the world is something that we are witnessing some months ago, but now with the Northern Hemisphere summer are impacting several regions in America, Europe, Asia, Africa. So it's a widespread hot temperatures, exceptionally high for this time of the year. And we know that heat waves are increasingly being more intense and frequent due to human-induced climate change. This is the main contributing factor.
Jose, we've also seen that many elderly died in Hajj due to heat wave. What precautions can one take? What are the most vulnerable parts of the population? And what are some of the health risks as far as these situations are concerned?
Yeah, so with some temperatures reaching 50 degrees and more, especially in the Middle East. In Kuwait, we are now in the 8th day of temperatures above 50 degrees. But not only the maximum temperatures are a concern, also the minimum temperatures during the night are also exceptionally high. Under these conditions, people should avoid to go outdoors. Of course, then the people most at risk are the elderly people, people with health conditions, and of course, people that need to stay outdoors. And this is something that should be avoid when we have these heat waves with temperatures above 40 and 45 degrees.
Well, Jose, also apart from heat wave, freak weather or extreme weather cases are also becoming common across the world, from floods, tornadoes and more. Is this likely to be the new norm?
Yeah, so in fact, it's not only the extreme heat and the heat waves that are more likely with climate change. Climate change also leads to increasing frequency and intensity of other weather and climate extremes, such as heavy rainfall. A warmer atmosphere is capable of holding more moisture content. And when there are the conditions to storms to develop and to heavy rainfall events, these are more intense and leads to more severe flooding over many areas of the world.
Right. So, Jose, when we talk about such high temperatures that are also leading to rising sea levels, we just saw Panama becoming the first country to evacuate an island due to climate change. How dangerous is this situation? How many regions are vulnerable to this?
The increasing temperature and global warming is just perhaps the most visible face of climate change. But climate change is not only about temperature. It's also about sea level rise. So the ocean warms, and when ocean warms, it expands. So we get important contribution from this thermal expansion of the ocean. But also the melting glaciers and ice sheets provide additional water to the ocean, and this leads to again an important contribution to sea level rise.
Right, Jose, what do countries need to do in order to reverse the impact of climate change at a time that we're seeing record low levels of climate funding?
Rise, as we talked about, and it's up to the countries to increase their ambitions in terms of reducing greenhouse gases. It's very important to keep the Paris Agreement goal alive, to get global warming and increasing of global temperature well below 2 degrees Celsius. And with current pledges and with current politics, it's not possible to see this will happen. So it's important to increase ambition, and this needs to be a global undertake by all countries.
Right. Thank you so much, Jose Alvaro Silva from the WMO, for speaking to us here on NDTV.